Guys, this will be our plyo and speed session for workout number 18. So this is gonna be part 2, okay? So I showed the board last video, but I'll go ahead and put it up again. A lot of riding, okay, like we talked about. I'll put this on the description below the video. So when you click on that little arrow, if it's not like in a full screen, you're just checking your phone, make sure you click on the description of what the workout is. So you'll see like workout number 18, just click on that arrow on the right side, it'll drop down the description and you'll see all this information. A little bit easier to read, okay, because it's typed out rather than written in my terrible handwriting. So our plyos tomorrow are gonna be lateral multi-directional, all right? So I want all the athletes to perform the plyo work. And then when we get into the speed work, that's gonna be more field and court athletes, okay? Team sport athletes. If you're a track and field or cross country athlete, you're gonna do the plyos like I said, but you can do some linear speed work and you can work in a little bit longer speed in between 30 meters, 60 meters if you want. Nothing over that, okay? Because we want it to be true speed work. If you're getting over that, like tomorrow, we're gonna do some strides and hills, so that's where we'll get a little bit of speed endurance. So make sure you're doing full recovery for the plyos and the speed work, okay? So for the plyos, like we said, it's a lateral day, so we're gonna do lateral hurdle jumps. Those are gonna be continuous or double contact. The goal is to be continuous, okay? So we wanna be elastic, work that stretch shortening cycle. And you're gonna go 2 each, okay? So you're gonna face one way, leading with the left foot, and then face the other way, leading with the right hip, okay, or whatever, foot, and then that way you're going both ways, 2 each, so 4 times through. And you're gonna just do 4 hurdles. You guys can set up where you're jumping over anything, okay? Just make sure it's safe, all right, whatever you're jumping over. And we always wanna focus on making sure we're getting height on these, okay? Even if it's only like a 6-inch hurdle or you have a rope laying on the ground. Doesn't matter what it is, focus on getting height. Then our lateral hurdle hops, we're gonna do double contact. Maybe you just need to stabilize, that's totally fine too. You're gonna go 2 each way, okay? So we gotta go medial and lateral, okay? So that means mid to the midline, we're jumping to the midline, and then we're jumping to the outside of the body. So if I'm on my right foot, I'm jumping towards the body, and if I'm on my right foot again, I'm jumping away from my body, so lateral, and that way I get, I'm gonna do that twice on the right leg and then twice on the left leg. So that's why we cut the volume back a little bit, and it's gonna be 3, okay? 3 lateral hurdle hops, and then lateral bound quick cuts is our last movement, so that's our bounding. So jumps are on 2 feet, hop is on 1 leg to the same leg, and a bound is 1 foot to the other foot. All right, so our lateral bound quick cut, okay, we're gonna bound out, quick cut back, and stabilize on the same foot that we started with, okay? And you're gonna do 2 each, 5 reps, okay? And then after you get done with your plyos, okay, make sure you're taking full recovery. It's gonna be a little bit longer session tomorrow. Then your speed work, of course, before you start your Metcon, all right, is gonna be a shuffle cut to sprint. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna shuffle, you're gonna lateral shift, so basically you're gonna get into a good position where you can cross back over, okay, you're working at 180 degrees, so horizontally. And then the second movement, okay, you're gonna do that 4 each side by 5 yards. So you're gonna shuffle 5, cut, boom, sprint out for 5 yards. So super low volume, and then make sure you're resting in between. Maybe it's like you go, I go type of thing, or even a little bit less than that for sure. So make sure you're getting full recovery. You want these to be full speed. And then the last one, okay, is a backpedal, turn and run. And we'll talk about the footwork on that. And you're gonna do 4 of each of those. So you'll probably backpedal 5 to 10 yards, turn and sprint for, 10 yards. Okay, so that way you're working that transition, but you're working through that transition and actually accelerate out of that, not just turning in the transition and slowing down, okay? A lot of times it's not always about the first movement, but it's about the second movement. So whenever I make a cut or do something, it's not about how well I cut, but how well can you get out of that cut, or how well can you transition and then continue to move, right? You want to be in a good position, that way you can make the next move if you have to. Because a lot of times when we're reacting in sports, okay, we're making one movement, boom, we got to make another movement, okay? If we go up for a rebound, we got to jump up and then be ready to make our next move or whatever it may be, okay? So we'll go ahead and run through these. The reason I broke these videos up because this session is going to be a little bit longer, and then it doesn't apply for a lot of the people that are just doing the Metcon, okay? So our first movement, okay, is going to be jumps, all right? So these are our lateral hurdle jumps, and we want them to be continuous. The hurdles are about, a yard to 4 feet apart, okay? We want to make sure that we're kind of having to push lateral on these, all right? So this time I would be leading with my left hip, then I would lead with my right hip, okay? And then I would do left, right. That's going to be 2 on each side. And remember, you're going to have 4 hurdles set up. I just have 2 for demonstration purposes. Anytime we're jumping, we're looking to get into that acceleration position. So toe up, knee up, front side mechanics here. When we're doing more hops, it's going to be like an absolute speed position. Okay, so calf to hamstring, heel underneath the butt, but knee is still on the front side of the body. Okay, and I'll show that on our hops the best I can, of course. So jumps, okay, I'm here, getting height, continuous, stabilize on that last one. If you wanted to come to this side and go back, okay, you could do that. Just make sure you're resting and make sure you feel fresh, okay? The reason it's only 4 reps because it's pretty taxing, especially if you're focused on getting height. So I don't want you just going over the hurdles like this. See how there's no front side mechanics? I'm just lifting my feet. I want to push off the ground, lift, push off the ground, lift, and then stabilize. So that's my lateral hurdle jump continuous because I'm not stabilizing and I'm not doing double contact. The lateral hurdle hop, okay, so medial would be to the midline of the body, okay? So I always think like medial side of the knee, lateral side of the knee, just an easy way to help my athletes remember. So medial hop, double contact, okay? So I'm here, a little hop, boom, big hop, and then stabilize. If you want, you can use this foot as a kickstand, okay? Just get back to balance and then take it off. And then of course you're going lateral to the outside of the body, okay? So I'm here, boom, hop, hop, and then stabilize and stick, okay? You could go down, back, okay? And then do that again on the right leg or go left leg and then go right leg and then left leg. So you're getting 2 on each side, but also doing 2, 1 medial, 1 lateral, okay? And that counts as 1, okay? So when you go medial and then lateral, that's 1 set. You're gonna do 2 of those on each leg. Then your lateral bound quick cut is gonna be start on the right, quick cut off the left. You're gonna do that 5 times. And then you'll go start on the left, quick cut off the right, boom, stabilize. You'll do that 5 times. You'll do 2 sets of that, okay? Like I said, if you need to modify, okay, and if you're starting to get tired and it's starting to get lazy, take more rest, or if your legs are tired and not able to handle it, okay, just do 1 set on each side. But try to get that lateral single leg work in with your hops, 2 foot with your jumps, okay, and your lateral bound quick cut. So the hops are going to be the most taxing because it's on 1 leg. But as athletes, when we sprint or we cut, generally it's on 1 leg at a time. If when I'm sprinting, I'm only striking the ground with 1 foot at a time, okay? When I hit the ground with this foot, this other foot, there's a float phase, okay? And I'm off the ground, and then 1 foot strikes the ground, then I'm off the ground, okay? So we want to be strong and explosive and powerful on 1 leg. So these lateral bound quick cuts will look like this, okay? We're trying to get a little bit of distance, okay? Not height, but more distance. And when we do this, we want to make sure that we're landing on that medial side of the foot and the shin angle is angled back in the direction we want to go. Don't let yourself roll over top of that foot. So hopefully you can see this on the video. So I'm going to be here, lateral bound quick cut, stabilize. That's 1, 2, okay? And then you would do that on the other side, going from the left, quick cut off the right, back to the left. Remember, trying to get distance, but landing in a good position. So you want a quick cut off the opposite leg and then come back and make sure you can stabilize, all right? Then our speed work, multi-directional speed work, all right? You can go set up kind of cones, walk off 5 big steps, that's your 5 yards, all right? Make sure you have a surface where you can do this and it's gonna be safe, okay? Don't do this where you're gonna slide and slip and hurt yourself. So if you have a football field or a track or something like that with a good grip or a court, if you have access to that, not many people do right now, but what you're gonna do, okay, is you have a shuffle cut, to sprint. So I know this isn't 5 yards and I'm not going to go 100%, but when we're shuffling, okay, if I'm going to the left, my right leg is my gas. I need to think about this is my drive leg and I want to load the inside ball of the foot, create a little bit of internal rotation at the hip, that way I can push. I don't want to reach because then my feet are separated, okay? This leg just lifts and recover, boom, it stays underneath me as a brake all the time until it becomes my gas again. All right, so you always want to have a brake and a gas. You never want to get your feet separated. This is where you get beat, okay? So as I'm pushing, I always have this foot underneath me. That way I can push back, okay? Wherever way I'm going. And I stay down and my shoulders and my hips, okay, stay over top of each other. So I keep my shoulders and my hips inside my feet. I don't let my body leak outside my body. We don't want any of these energy leaks, okay? Stay inside your feet. So the first one is going to be a shuffle, lateral shift. So I want to get over top of this inside foot. I'm crossing over and then sprinting out. So maybe it's better if I go from this side. So I'm shuffle, shift, I'm loaded over top of this inside foot, boom, big push, snap the knee, across to this crossover step. I'm pushing off, driving this knee, and then I'm turning. So guess what this looks like? It looks like our split stance starts when I go to take off and sprint out. So I'm loaded over top of that front foot and getting out and getting linear with it, because we can go faster linear than we can lateral, all right? Then your last one is going to be a back pedal turn and run. So what you're going to do is you can set up cones, you can back pedal for 10 yards, turn and run for 10 yards. Or, you know, if you have somebody to give you, to make it reactive, okay, first do it where you practice the drill, practice the footwork, where you kind of know where you're going to turn at. So if I have a cone set up, it's like the hurdles, boom, as soon as I see the hurdles, that's where I'm going to turn around. Out of my peripherals, boom, turn around, same thing going the other way. So your footwork for that is if I'm backpedaling, okay, I want to make sure my feet stay underneath my hips, okay? Nose is over top of my toes. I'm leading with the hips, nice and relaxed, short arms right here, and feet are staying close to the ground, okay? I don't want big reach steps, because if you reach as an athlete, this is where you get hung up and you step in the bucket, okay? You want your feet underneath you. Either I'm here, this is as far as I'm going to go, that way I can transition out, okay? Or I'm in my deceleration position if I go to stop. You don't want any of these big, long reach steps, okay? It's the same thing like in our shuffle. We want our feet underneath our body and our body stacked over top of our feet. We just want to create angles. If I'm going forward, I need to create an angle to drive me forward. If I'm going backwards, I need to push, okay, in that direction, push the ground down and away from me. So whatever way I'm going, I'm pushing the ground down and away from my body, okay? So the back pedal turn around, the footwork, is I'm backpedaling, okay? If I'm opening to the right, on this left foot, okay, is going to push, and then I'm going to get that right foot in the ground as fast as I can. So I'm here, turning to the right, left foot, push off of it, and then I'm driving my hips open with that foot, okay? Driving that hip open with my foot. I push, and I get this toe turned, but I do not want to reach with this foot. I need to get that foot down right away so I can accelerate over top of it. See this angle? This is an angle to drive me forward. If that foot reaches, now it's a break, okay? So I'm opening here, I'm backpedaling, I push, get that second foot, and accelerate out. Same thing if I'm going this way. I'm here, push off the right, load the right, push off of it, get this left foot in the ground, get over top of it, and accelerate out, okay? Hopefully that's a good enough demonstration. I know it's tough just on the video with my phone and in my garage, but I think you'll get the idea of it. Make sure you're focused on technique and positions. It's all about angles, okay? Everything is about angles and multi-direction, even in linear speed work when you set up in the blocks or you're sprinting, okay? So work on the technique, okay? Don't think about going 100 miles an hour, especially if you haven't been doing it. Just focus on good technique as you go through it. Slow it down, work on the positions, and then you can speed it up, and then you can make it reactive, okay? That's kind of the progression. Same thing with our plyos. First, we want to work stabilization. Then we move to double contact, where we get a little bit of more elastic, true stretch shortening cycle, true plyometric, and then we want to get continuous, okay? And then there's a bunch of different variations from there. And then, like I said, you know, we're getting our jumps in, we're getting our hops in, and we're getting our bounds in. So those three things are important. There's, you know, we can do different variations of those. But we'll try to keep it simple. As long as you're getting it in and being consistent, that's the main thing, especially during this time when we're away, okay? Be consistent, focus on good technique, okay? And make sure you're working hard, and then communicate with me. I'm here for you guys, so make sure you utilize that, all right? We can actually have contact, and I can send you stuff every single day, so that's a bonus, all right? Good luck with tomorrow's workout. Okay, like I said, make sure you're getting full recovery. And then for you track athletes, so your linear guys, cross country, you can do some linear speed work after you get done with the plyos. Make sure you do the multidirectional plyos, not only from a explosive standpoint, from an injury prevention standpoint too, okay? Good luck with the workout. Warm up really well before the plyos and the speed stuff. And then make sure you're recovering and doing some cool down stuff, okay? Yeah, and then after the Metcon too, be ready for those glutes and quads to be sore. Alrighty, have a good workout.